Boys, today, they just announced on a dev stream about 15 minutes ago that in the next chapter PTB, D-Strike will be nerfed. And the D-Strike nerfs are very interesting. They've also came up with the concept for an Object of Obsession nerf, and I basically just wanted to bring it forward, show you some Nerf gameplay that I recorded, and just go over it and get the community's opinions on these changes. Also, my goal of this video is to put forward as many viewpoints as possible, just sort of get the different viewpoints that Survivor mains, as well as Killer mains, as well as people that play both sides may have on the nerf. So first things first, I'm going to show you the Object of Obsession proposed nerf, so there is a chance that this will never make it to the game, but I just wanted to show you it and explain what it says. A supernatural bond links you to the killer. Whenever your aura is revealed to the killer's aura becomes revealed to you. If you're the obsession, your aura is revealed to the killer for 3 seconds, once every 40/35/30 seconds. Increases the odds of becoming the obsession. And then we have the D-Strike nerf, which is definitely going to be in the PTB for the next chapter. Or that's what they said on the dev livestream. It is basically the exact same as it was before, except it now has stipulations for you to lose the DS effect, which in theory will remove the 59-second DS usage that you get in public games. If survivors want to be efficient, they won't get much use out of their D-Strike unless they are actually getting tunneled. So it's quite a significant nerf. But basically, if you are repairing a gen, healing, cleansing a totem, sabotaging a hook, or unhooking another survivor, you will lose that D-Strike timer, and it will be just as if it never even activated. It will activate off of your next hook again, but if you do any of these things, you will lose it for those 60 seconds. So it punishes survivors' efficiency off of the hook, essentially, and it introduces a whole new set of mind games for the killer and for the survivors. Because me, if I'm a killer, if I'm playing in competitive or something like this, if I see somebody that I've just hooked to get onto a gen 20 seconds off of being unhooked, I'm going for that person straight away. But if that person is just sort of standing still and waiting for me to leave, then I'm probably not going to down them and tunnel them. People have asked me what I think this change will do in the competitive scene, and I think it's very subjective, because any host of any tournament will adjust the rules to whatever they deem is balanced. So, whether it is somebody that thinks that this is now an extremely killer-sided game, they will just buff the survivors in their rule set. And if they think it's an extreme survivor-sided game, they'll just buff the killers in their rule set. In general, I do think this will be a healthy change for the game, because there will be less of the D-Strike activating when the killer is not actively tunneling. And D-Strike will basically just be used as an anti-tunneling perk rather than an anti-momentum perk for the killer. Because at the moment, if the killer builds up too much momentum and he is repeatedly hooking survivors, he is bound to take a D-Strike eventually, even if it's on the 40th, 50th, or 60th second. So now it is a lot more focused on just being an anti-tunneling perk. With the Object of Obsession changes, I think this will be a big hit to the 4-man swaffs that will load in and just have one person with object, give the killer as little information as possible, whilst constantly getting information for all 4 survivors because they're on comms and they can tell it to each other, so I think this is a very healthy change. However, I feel like they may have nerfed object a little bit too hard to the point where it might be seen as useless by the large survivor player base, or by the majority of the survivor player base, and I think it now just won't be chosen as much as it was before. Me personally, I liked running Object of Obsession in solo queue just because I liked getting chased, and it didn't really bother me if I was face camped or tunneled. I just wanted the attention of the killer so that I could be chased, and because that is the most fun thing in Dead by Daylight for me, is outplaying the killer, doing the mind games, winning the mind games, losing the mind games, and throwing pallets, getting pallet stuns, that kind of thing. That's the most fun thing in Dead by Daylight to me. So it increased the odds of me constantly being chased for that game, so I enjoyed it quite a lot. Whereas in this scenario, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as oppressive to the killer for the killer to want to tunnel me to get rid of me and my perk in their game. Either way, these are the 2 changes that they announced in the dev stream. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Blight is finally getting his height actually implemented into his FOV. So no longer is your chin going to be scratching the ground as you're running around as Blight. But seriously, this video was completely made to get your viewpoint on these changes. I would really appreciate it if you could write in the comments and just let me know what you think. Do you think that survivors are now going to be incredibly underpowered? Do you think that killers are now going to be incredibly overpowered? Do you think it's good for the balance of the game? The game is getting more balanced now. Do you think that this perk was, or both of these perks were really bad and they needed a change? Do you think that they were fine as they were before? Just let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do consider it, and have a wonderful rest of your day.